If you're running a small business, brand probably feels like a luxury, right? It's the logo you finally get around to designing after you figured out all your services. It's the colors you pick for the website once the real work is done. But what if that's totally backward? We're about to explore a really powerful idea, that your brand isn't just the pretty stuff. It's the actual operating system for your entire business.
So let me ask you straight up. When you hear the word brand, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it your logo? Maybe your font choices? If that's where your head is at, you're not alone. But you're also missing out on maybe the single most powerful tool you have to grow your business. See, the real goal here isn't just branding, making things look good. The huge opportunity is to start using your brand as your core strategy. This flips the whole thing on its head. We're moving from just looking good to building a consistent, powerful engine for growth.
And this really shows you that mental shift. The old way, well, it treats brand as decoration. It's that final polish you put on everything at the end. But the new way, it sees brand as infrastructure. It's not a marketing flyer, it's a management tool. Think of it this way. It's the foundation you build your house on, not just the coat of paint you slap on the walls when you're all done.
Okay, so where do we even begin? The very first piece of this puzzle is getting this one thing straight. At its core, your brand is your reputation. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
So what's a reputation really? Well, it's not what you claim to be in your ads or on your website. No way. It's what your customers, your community, your partners, what they all conclude about you based on all the little pieces of evidence you give them day in and day out.
And that evidence, it comes from absolutely everywhere. Every single customer interaction matters. Is your pricing consistent, or does it feel random? Is your service reliable, or is it a roll of the dice? Every little decision you make leaves a clue, and all those clues add up to either build or destroy your reputation. I mean, think about it. A messy, inconsistent operation will damage your brand way more than a bad logo ever could. So if your reputation is the end result, it's what everybody sees, how do you actually create a good one, consistently? Well, this brings us to the big idea here. You need to start thinking of your brand as your business's operating system. It's just like the OS on your computer or your phone. Windows or iOS, make sure all your different apps and programs can work together without the whole thing crashing. Your brand OS does the exact same thing for your business. It's that internal, coordinating logic that makes sure hiring, customer service, marketing, product development, all of it works together seamlessly. It's the code that makes everything hum.
And let me tell you why this is such a game changer for a busy business owner. A clear brand OS means you and your team stop making things up on the fly. It gives everyone a shared playbook that makes decisions faster, easier, and a whole lot more consistent, which is absolutely crucial if you ever want to scale up. Okay, so how does this operating system actually work in the real world? Like on a Tuesday afternoon when you've got a million things to do? Well, it acts like a powerful filter for every single decision you have to make. This filter helps you answer 4 simple but really profound questions. What do we do? And this is the big one. What do we not do? How do we go about it? And why does any of it matter? Every opportunity that comes your way, a new type of customer, a new service idea, you run it through this filter. If it doesn't line up, you can confidently say no and stay focused on what really counts.
And honestly, that is the difference between chaos and strategy. Without that filter, you're just reacting. You're chasing every shiny new thing and getting pulled in 100 different directions. But with that filter, your growth becomes intentional. It becomes strategic.
All right, let's switch gears for a second and talk about something that every modern business has to deal with. Your brand isn't just for people anymore. You now have to build a brand that makes sense to machines, to algorithms.
Seriously, just let that sink in for a moment. Your brand needs to be so clear and consistent that a machine can understand what you're all about. This isn't some futuristic, nice-to-have idea. This is a fundamental requirement for getting found today. I mean, how do new customers find a local business like yours? They're not digging through the phone book. They're typing into Google, checking reviews on Yelp, or just saying, "Hey Siri, find a great plumber near me." These platforms, these bots, they are the new front door to your business.
So what are these algorithms actually looking for? Well, it turns out they're looking for the same things a smart customer is. They're looking for coherence. Does your message on Facebook match your website, which matches your Google business profile? They're looking for consistency. They're trying to figure out if you're a real authority in your field. The bottom line is machines reward clarity and they punish confusion.
Okay, so how does all of this actually fit together? Let's zoom out and look at a really simple framework that pulls all these ideas together into 4 distinct layers.
Here's how it all stacks up. Layer 1 at the very bottom is your internal brand OS, your core beliefs and logic. Then you apply that OS using your decision filter. Those consistent decisions create Layer 3, all the external signals that people and bots see, everything from your prices to your customer service. And finally, all those signals, added up over time, build your reputation. See how each layer builds right on top of the last one?
And here's the most important part. These 4 layers have to be aligned. A weakness in one layer weakens the whole thing. If your internal principles are mushy, your decisions will be random. If your decisions are random, your external signals will be confusing. And if all of that is confusing, your reputation is going to suffer. It's a perfect chain reaction, for better or for worse.
So, what's the big takeaway here for you, the person actually running the show every day? It really boils down to a shift in your mindset, a move away from total flexibility and towards a more strategic kind of discipline.
Look, when you're just starting out, being flexible is your superpower. I get it. But as you start to grow, that same flexibility, without a filter to guide it, just waters down who you are. Thinking of your brand as an operating system introduces the kind of healthy constraints you need to scale up without losing your soul.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about for your own business. Is your brand just a decorative roadmap, something that looks nice but is basically tucked away in a drawer? Or is it the actual engine, the thing you use every single day to power your business forward? Because that choice right there makes all the difference.